Getting into machine learning is just hard. It requires making sacrifices, studying after hours, and having patience on a scale of years that things will work out in your favor. The struggle is real, and I know some of you are finding this process very difficult. That's why I recently sat down with fellow seasoned data science and machine learning creator Marina, who's also an applied machine learning scientist at Twitch/Amazon and has been a career coach since 2022, to get her thoughts and advice on some questions that you may want the answers to in order to break into the industry. Let's get into it.
Hey everyone! First, I just want to say thanks so much for having me on the channel. Happy to share a little bit about my journey into machine learning. It was a bit of a windy path. As a young person, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I considered being a tattoo artist, I ran a small business for a while, and I worked on political campaigns. In 2018, I decided to go back to get a master's degree in public policy because I didn't really know what else to do. And that was my first exposure to coding and machine learning. My master's program happened to have strong courses in stats, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and Python, but all with a social science angle. I got my degree in Germany and started working for a small data science consulting firm there. When it was time to move back to the US, I applied to over 100 jobs before I got a single interview, which happened to be an ML-focused role at Coursera. At the time, I was more into the stats side of things, so in a way, I kind of fell into machine learning by accident. And that was great because it turned out I really loved doing production work. I stayed at Coursera for 2 years before moving to Twitch, where I now work as an applied scientist.
What I find very inspirational about Marina's journey is that she didn't just break into the field straight after university when she was like 21 or 22. She dabbled in other areas, worked several different jobs, and then eventually went back to school to get her master's degree. All this shows that getting into data science and machine learning is not linear. You don't need the perfect background or work experience. Hard work, determination, and time is really all you need, and having an understanding that there's never a perfect time to do something.
To be honest with you, it is a disadvantage. I had to do a lot of work outside my master's program to get up to speed, and to this day, I am still studying consistently. If you come from a non-traditional background, you will need to be okay with putting in significant effort to be competitive. But it's not all bad. I've also found that my social science background has been an advantage in a lot of ways. I find I'm good at understanding the human side of machine learning problems, since many machine learning problems are ultimately about behavior. And I'm a strong communicator and storyteller, which matters a lot for career progression.
People always ask me, does it matter that they have a non-tech background or degree? And like Marina, I will agree with her and say that it is a disadvantage indeed. However, everything does have its pros and cons. So like Marina mentioned in her response, your non-tech degree will give you other advantages that people who study tech degrees will not. And it's all about finding that advantage you have and basically playing that card in your interviews, projects, whatever it may be, and just really framing your application around those advantages that you do have. Because everyone's unique, everyone has different skill sets. It's all about exploiting your positives, your advantages over other people, and how you angle that in interviews, projects, like I said. But the hard work is trying to find that.
You will need to do the work to improve your foundations first and foremost. This means strong production-level coding skills, strengthening your math foundations if they aren't up to par, and iteratively improving your skills as a machine learning engineer through projects that continually push you closer to reaching professional quality work. It will be important to have a portfolio that demonstrates your skill level if you do not have an expected academic background or professional experience. And that means going far above follow-along tutorial projects or simple notebooks. I mean creating end-to-end scalable pipelines. You should also be proactive about building your network. It's likely that as someone without the expected credentials, you will have a hard time getting past resume screeners. So you need to find ways to get referrals and build relationships with people who can help you find opportunities.
To be honest, I haven't got much to add in this response. If you come from a non-traditional, non-tech background, you just have to learn all the things you need to get into the field, plus what everyone else will learn who has a tech background. So the maths, statistics, machine learning, coding, you just got to learn everything. So it may take you a bit more time, but it's definitely possible.
Projects. That's an easy one. I think structured learning paths, courses, and books are great, but they will only get you the basic foundations. After you generally understand a concept at a high level, you need to apply it to self-directed projects. This will teach you so much more and help you get a job in a way that courses and certificates just won't.
Completely agree. Projects is by far and away the best way to learn. I even have a whole video explaining the exact projects you should build in order to land a job. I'll leave it on the screen here in case you want to check it out.
If I had to pick one, it would be discomfort with failure. This is a challenging field and it's hard breaking in at first. It's normal to not understand things, to get rejected from jobs, and just generally feel less than inspired. But ultimately, it's those who are okay with being a beginner and being willing to just keep trying who eventually succeed.
People need to realize that you're going to suck at everything at the beginning. I sucked at coding. My machine learning knowledge was terrible. My first YouTube video was very cringe. And to be honest, they probably still are a bit cringe, but they are getting a bit better. The point is, you'll never be good at something at your first shot. You are never going to get anywhere if you can't accept rejection. If anything, the more rejection you experience, the more successful you will be, because rejection is just another step to success. I'm not trying to be some sort of self-help guru, but it is true, right? If you're getting rejected, you're clearly doing something different, you're trying something, you're putting yourself out there, and that's just a result of doing those things. By only doing those things will you succeed. So you just got to accept that fact that you're going to be rejected a lot by applications, you're going to feel rejected by recruiters, whatever it may be. It's just part of the game. And the more you can do that, the more successful you will be.
I've seen three main things that tend to hold folks back. First, needing really hands-on guidance every step of the way. The reality is that this is a complicated and ambiguous field, so if you're someone who really needs each step outlined for you by someone else, that might be a sign that you aren't going to be super comfortable. Those who are successful tend to be brave about trying, failing, iterating, and just continuing to explore until they get it. Second, not being a strong communicator. I've worked with folks who are really strong technically, but weren't able to sell their skills in interviews or weren't willing to proactively reach out to folks to network, and they actually did oftentimes worse than those who are less technically sound but stronger communicators. Lastly, having a pessimistic outlook on what will probably be a slightly painful process. It's important to go into this career transition with the realistic understanding that it will be hard and maybe take longer than you want. Setbacks should be expected and ideally even embraced as an opportunity to grow. If you get discouraged from rejection, it's going to be hard to stay in this for the long haul, but it's so worth it if you can keep your spirits up and ultimately land that perfect role.
This is similar to my previous point. It's not about being the most gifted machine learning engineer or data scientist. It's all about essentially how you react from setbacks and keep on learning and going forward, even after you faced so many rejections. Again, I'm not trying to be some sort of motivational speaker here, but there's no secret that sustained effort will slowly compound and good things will happen just from doing that process. There really is no secret into breaking into this field, into anything in life. You just got to do it for a long period of time and eventually you'll see success. It's just, the question is, can you stick at doing that thing for a long period of time? And most people just can't.
I'm a pretty optimistic person, and I think most people are more capable than they give themselves credit for. But realistically, no, not everyone can work in machine learning. It's intellectually demanding and requires commitment to continually learning. It requires being open to feedback, iterating, and willingness to keep going even when things are difficult. And it requires independence and comfort with ambiguity. But notice some things I did not say. It does not require strong math or programming skills right away. It doesn't require you to be a certain age or live in a certain place or have a PhD. Many people can do this job.
I agree and also disagree with Marina here. I personally think that everyone can become a data scientist, but that doesn't mean everyone should become one. As Marina mentioned, you need a lot of intangible kind of personality traits to be a machine learning engineer or data scientist. You need to be continually learning, be able to deal with ambiguity, and also just deal with failure repeatedly. Some people just are not built that way, and that's totally fine. But I think most people can learn those types of skills, or at least accept them. And that's why I think anyone can become a machine learning engineer or data scientist, if they're willing to accept the kind of terms of the role, as you could say. And like I said, anyone can do it. It's just the question is, do they really want to do it? And that's a kind of question that you and people need to answer for themselves.
Working in machine learning is challenging, but it's really worth it. You already know it pays well, but it's also fun, interesting, and rewarding. If this is something you're passionate about, you should absolutely give it a try. Worst case, you'll learn some interesting things that might benefit you in unexpected ways down the line. Thanks again for having me on the channel, and good luck, everyone.
Thanks again for Marina for answering all these questions. I really recommend you check out her YouTube channel, newsletter, and just our whole kind of ecosystem, because she has so many useful tips, advice, videos, whatever it may be, on how to get into the field. She offers advice from data science to AI to data analyst, pretty much anything you need. So again, I highly recommend you check out her channel. I'll leave everything linked in the description below for you to check all her content out. And I'll see you in the next video.